Well, hi, I'm Robert Knoll. Welcome to the Guitar Zone. Well, I'd like this lesson to be an introduction to guitar history. So, guitar history is important as well as music history. One of the great classes I had, I think it was when I got to college, was music history, and I loved it. I learned all about music history. It was just so much, I can't even get into it. You need to get a music history book or look at some videos, get into the whole thing of how we have our music system, where music came from, all the way back to the drums, the talking drums, and so many thousands of years ago. Well, guitar actually started, we think, somewhere about 3,300 years. Yeah, about 3,300 years. There was an instrument that was the forerunner of the lute and the guitar. So there were different instruments that were string instruments. And I'm not going to go into all of them. I want you to go to the Wikipedia page and type in guitar. You want to know all about guitar. And start there because the links on the Wikipedia page are going to go into the guitar as it is today, the fretted instrument. They're going to get into the plectrum, the finger picks you can use, pickups, amplifiers, the parts of guitars, three types of modern guitar that you should know, electric guitars and amplifiers, and then into the history. You get a basic history. This would be really great for you to absorb. So, there's sometimes when maybe you can't practice, maybe you hurt your hand, maybe you're tired. But what if you're in the mood or can get that inspiration to learn, do some learning, do some studying? YouTube. Type in guitar history, and start doing some reading. Make some notes. So you'll just go 3,300 years, the Babylonian times, right? The developments from Spain and France, the European developments, the classical guitar. Well, of course, we had the acoustic guitar we have, right? The types of guitar, right? Which can extend into other ranges, the classical flamenco guitars, the harp guitars, Russian guitars, there's tenor guitars, and then you get to the Renaissance and Baroque period, where we have the lutes and the classical guitars, 12-string guitars, right? Want to know when they came about, and who plays the 12 strings, who are the masters. The classical guitar, much like the flamenco guitars, there's just a lot of history, even not only Europe, but Brazil and African. The steel string acoustic guitar. You got to know about these guitars, not just about that one guitar you got. How about the arch tops, the big jazz guitars? Boy, they're very American arch tops, the Gibson Super 400. How about resonators and resophonic or dobro guitars? There's a whole history on those, and artists you should listen to. And steel guitars, table steel guitars, the country music kind. The 12 strings I said, and then all the different types of electric guitars, the 7-string, 8-string, the 12-string, electric basses, and then just learning all about how the history and how it developed and what styles of music are played on different guitars. There's a whole huge history out there on all of this. And it goes into the artists and the guitars, what about all the different kind of frets, the truss rods, the inlay types, the body types, the bridge types, the saddle types, the pickguard types, the string types, the different kinds of tunings that we can do. I'll do some videos on tunings to come. Alternative styles, alternative guitars, right? Slide guitar, plectrum, straps, what do you use, All these things about the history of guitar and how they develop. You should know these things. I think it would be a benefit to you to know about guitar history, learning more about guitars, so we can have intelligent conversations. You'll be able to talk to your repairmen, your guitar gurus, and talk to other musicians, other guitarists, and talk in an educated way, especially if you know your parts of your guitars and some of the history and some of the players. And maybe if you learn it really well, It would be really great. I really firmly believe in history, and at some point, just studying music history of all music, right? But if your instrument is guitar, really, shouldn't you know something about guitars and where they came from and how they progressed and where are they today, the technologies? I think it'd be wonderful. So this video is short. There may be other videos to come in the future where I get more involved and I talk about specific styles and guitar parts, and I'm doing videos on all different kinds of things to do with guitar, okay? So you just got to kind of search around. I hope you're not just at the Guitar Zone, but the Guitar Zone on Patreon. If you're one of my patrons, you are helping me put together more information, more videos, more writings, and just a whole podcast, all the things I'm trying to do with music for musicians and guitar players so you can learn and be a better musician and attain your goals. But please, guitar history. Guitar history is so important. You really need to get into it, okay? So enjoy, get into it. It can be really inspiring. And once you start learning about guitar and history and music history, you just want to know more. It's really groovy.